He's next to me.
Excuse me.
Oh, is he in here? Alright,
No,
whatever.
he's here. I mean, I can speak for him if you want. That's why I'm here. He's also giving me permission to speak for him.
I'm talking. Oh, you're the Quester of Immortal Conquest?
Yeah.
I thought
He's
you were
giving me permission to
Conqueror's
speak
Senator.
for him, so. No.
How is he relaying his answers to you?
Through DMs. He's just telling me what to say for him since he doesn't have a working microphone at the moment.
Alright. Does anyone here have any questions for more? Actually, I'm gonna post the evidence first. Let me find it.
If you send to my DMs as well, please, that'd be appreciated. Thank you.
Alright. Check DMs. I couldn't find the actual clip of it, but I'm going to post the evidence in plebeian council form so everyone can see it. This is the legate and his legion charging into the equestrian order area. Does anyone have any questions or concerns for Immortal Conquest, the legate who's present at that time? It's in the stage channel.
I don't have any questions or concerns about it, but I did question him, and may I quote on what he said?
Yes, you may.
Alright, let me just find it real fast. Alright, so this is how the conversation went down. He said, for future reference, if I am ordered by Praetor M+ to attack Romans, should I engage? I told him no. He said, right. And then I further proceeded to say, that's considered an act of treason. Then he continued to say, take one step back. Praetor M ordered an attack due to an attempt of murder. Now what? I just said, depends who tried to murder him. E.g., last night, I ordered my men to back off before the attack. And then I just proceeded to say still no. At that point is an act of treason. A legion would be acting as a private military. If there was an attempted murder, the Praetor should have contacted UC about it, not engaged the legions.
If I may quote on that, can you send like a physical screenshot of Kong's statement? Because right now it's just hearsay.
I can screen share for everyone.
That'd be appreciated. Because I prefer to see actual evidence rather than just hearsay.
Okay, I'll go to the start of it. Alright. If you would like to look at the screen, you can. So this is the start of the conversation when he asked me about it yesterday. I'll move that out of the way more.
Alright, well, if I may, so the Praetor M is considered an Imperium, right?
Well, the Praetor, just because they have Imperium, it doesn't necessarily keep them from committing treason. It would be the same thing as if the Caesar were to commit treason.
Yeah, but the Praetor does have permission to enact law changes, no? Or at least put forward a motion for a new law. Because at the time, the Praetor, to my knowledge, is allowed in the equestrian hall, is he not?
He is.
Right. So then the question guard then proceeds to try and kill him, which would technically be illegal, no? Because he is allowed in the question hall.
It would be technically illegal, yes. But that does not enact the authority to engage legions as a personal guard unit, or an assassination unit that falls under the legislation for private militaries, which is illegal.
Can you show me that? Blair, can you show me that legislation, please?
Yeah, let me go to the Trello. Give me like 1 minute.
Give me 1 second as well. I'm going to get a drink quickly. I'll be right back. I need some water.
Oh, what the? Oh. Okay.
Sorry, I'm back now. Last moment's coming. Let me just quickly put my headphones on. Alright. Let me just quickly read through this.
It's very brief and not detailed, which it should probably have a referral for in the future, near future, especially since it's outdated, but it's the general concept of it.
I mean, as far as I can see, this does not say anything about having legionaries act as a temporary honor guard.
Legions are not to act as a temporary honor guard in general. They're not a guard unit for a VIP. They have duties to protect the city, not to protect Praetor.
Yes, I agree. And technically speaking, only the Ninth Auxilia were given these permissions. However, as I said, there's no technical legislation disbarring the use of legionaries as temporary honor guards.
Legions will not be asked to guard a Praetor, plus unless there is no current OG online to fulfill the role. A request for legionary guards can only be made if the individual is on the correct tags. For example, military or legion tags. Furthermore, a legionary guard will not be authorized to enforce kill zones. Should there be LG in game, legionary guard will not be permitted.
Yeah, and that's all swell. But according to the Praetor M, there have been issues with LG refusing to guard him, which is why he enacted a temporary honor guard within the Ninth Auxilia. So
which,
if anything, this should be brought
therefore,
up to...
comes as a private military.
But again, that's not disbarred. That's not actual legislation. Currently, what you're doing now is making a law and making it hearsay. Unless it's official legislation, the Legion cannot be charged with it. Because as of right now, it's not a law. It's not legislation. There's no legal documentation saying that a Praetor M cannot use legionaries as a temporary honor guard.
It was an order from... It was ordered by Gained to IC. That's essentially what it was. What the fuck? But yeah, so the Magister Equitium had ordered that. He ordered it after said events. Okay, I'm just giving facts that I'm given, but yeah.
If he did indeed make the order, then our Legion was not informed. As far as I know, we were giving no prior warnings or no prior statements to stop doing what Ada was telling us to do. Nobody really came to us about it. So, personally, I would say it's more at the fault of the lawmakers and the person who make these decisions to actually inform us of those said decisions. Because as far as we know, what we were doing was perfectly legal. Because there was no legislation barring us from it. There was nobody from any form of judicial office telling us that we can't do it. So I would say it's more a matter of incompetence from whoever manages judicial affairs.
Well, so that knowledge of law doesn't go into judicial affairs. That would just go into the lawmaking affairs in general, which would fall under both the Consul Civilis and the Praetor Civilis's duties to ensure that the members of military and any members of military and legislative branches, well, just citizens in general. I'm sorry, I'm very exhausted.
We're not halting the meeting for Spartans.
Yeah, citizens of Rome are informed of legislations. If
Yes,
that
I
makes
agree.
sense.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody should be informed. But I would say in a scenario like this, we can't really be held to it if we're not informed of that legislation, because nobody has informed us. Because if we were told by, Consul given legislation saying us, okay, you can't guard Adam now, it's illegal now, we would stop doing that.
Personally, from my point of view, I do not see any wrong actions from the 9th Legion. I think it was just a chaotic experience for everyone involved, and that the 9th was following orders to the best of their abilities with the given circumstances.
All right, Antonio, we're going to clear up some time for other members at this meeting to ask questions.
Sounds good.
Plebeian Magistrate, you had a question, correct? Please ask away.
Is he doing this in-game, or is he doing it in the chat?
In-game. Just standing up.
Where is he? Oh, I see it. Let me just get closer.
You can speak in chat.
Yeah, I can look in-game if you want, or you can ping me in the plebeian chat. Just tell me beforehand so I know where I'm reading this from. In regards to that, at the time I believe there were no UC nearby, and additionally, we were just going off what we're told. Like I said, nobody really kept us in the loop of things. Like, our only real source of contact was the Consul and the Praetor M. Nobody outside that really spoke to us. If there was people that did speak to Kong, then I'm unaware of that, but as far as I know, from what I've gone through in the circles I've been given, is that generally speaking, we only had the Praetor M and Consul M giving us orders and general direction. Who tried to prevent it? Are you saying that we didn't try to prevent it, or somebody else didn't try to prevent it? If you could please clarify that for me. Right. Generally speaking, when most of the time the 9th uses VCs. When an order comes through, we pass it down through the VC, etc. But generally speaking, in a mess like that, it's hard to read chat sometimes. Because when we did go into the question hall, people were going left and right. It was all one big bundle. It's kind of hard to read chat when there's people running around stabbing each other.
All right. Magistrate, do you have any further questions? If not, sit down. All right. Any other questions for the legate at all? Anyone? Going once? Going twice? Last call. All right, we're gonna move down. You are excused from your testimony.
Thank you.
All right. Since we don't actually have the Consul present in the meeting, this will be the last testimony that we're going to get. Or, well, if you Consul, what do you want? That will be up for debate at the Senate meeting, because this is just a joint session where it's like an interview going on here right now. But all right. So next part is a testimony that I got from Plim Flavia, the Caesar himself. I'm going to read this out.
Your mic's lagging a little bit, by the way.
Is it? Is it better? No. Alright. Flavia said, Cala legionnaires and paramilitaries join EG while being in the legion/pairs, which is totally fine. However, when the legates wanted their men to protect the gates on legion tags, he tried using all sorts of loopholes to get out of it so that EG could guard him.
Bro, your microphone's oh shit. I cannot hear you. You're loud now.
Hold on.
Lord.
I'm lagging. I'm just gonna post the
Stage is
testimony.
like broken.
No. It's Discord. It's Discord.
Everybody's lagging right now.
Oh, no.
Here's what I'm going to do. Please direct your eyes to the Sensorial Bulletin channel. I'm going to play Caesar's testimony. Or testimony, just him that he gave me. I'm going to place it in there. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to call up the Dominus of the Liquors.
We still can't hear what it's doing. So, somebody's on him.
Look at Senatorial Bulletin. See what comes up.
Is it better now? Is everything fixed, or is my mic still lagging?
Yeah, it sounds better. I think we're clear.
Alright, we're good. Mr. Dominus, I'm gonna invite you up to the stage.
And just to clarify, you only want the regards of Adertz and as to why he lost his guards.
That, and I'm going to let everyone here question you.
Very well. So, initially, if my screenshot would work for this, stand by. The issue regarding Adertz and losing his guards arose, and I cannot post this image in the group chat, or the channel BC.
Yeah, that's me.
Just... And there you go.
Alright, I'm posting this in the VC channel and Senatorial Bulletin. You may continue.
As I was stating, regarding the aspect of Adert losing his guards, my Tribunus A had mentioned and pinged me, stating that he was placed on KOS by Adert for imposing a KOS that was ordered by Koff that was issued on a mortal Sharky. The LG were carrying it out. Weirdum was killing Sharky as per our orders. Adertz then followed suit and issued a KOS on Weird for following our orders. That became an entire debacle with us arguing with Koff, as well as the situation where the legions were now killing the LG personnel who were on duty and following out the orders that were issued to us by the consul. As the situation develops further, the consul then decided to react to it by stating the Praetor M's guards were no longer allowed to be issued, and they were removed for the span of roughly half a day to a day. With that being said, he was not allowed to have any guards, and at one point, Sharky was still on KOS. Ever since the situation of that, with the brief stint of Koff nearly getting removed by Consilium and Emperor, so on and so forth, Koff has then deleted the KOS orders on Sharky. He's deleted all the images regarding Aderts being issued, his removal of his guards, so on and so forth. So it has been a back and forth between the Lictors Guild and Koff as to how to handle the situation with the Praetor and the Legions, and it's been nothing more than essentially a pissing contest between the consul and others of Imperium within Rome. And that's all I have to say in regards to that.
Alright. Does anyone have any questions for the Dominus?
I have a few.
Alright. Please speak.
Alright, so in the terms of, for example, because I believe most of this stemmed from the KOS order on me, correct?
Correct, you were issued KOS by the consul.
Yeah, for what reason was that again?
For apparently attacking Lictors Guild members and protectees as we were on duty or in public. So you were supposedly screenshotted and videoed, which, as I stated, the consul has then deleted, or since deleted, and he had issued the KOS on you for that, for attacking members of the Lictors Guild as they were on duty.
Well, that chaos was actually trialed in a court, if I remember correctly, which was also dismissed as a sham trial in that case. Which additionally as well is just Koff abusing his power when a praetor should be having LG either way. Considering the fact it is their job to guard senatorial members.
And as I stated, it's been perceived as a pissing match between Koff and the others of Imperium within Rome. Most of LG HighCom wants nothing to do with it. We are simply here to do our duties within protecting our protectees and nothing more than that. Any situation that's going on between the consul, praetors, concilium, anything like that is essentially to be as a sidestep for us, because it's causing nothing but issues with us, such as situations with the 9th Legion attacking members of our HighCom and our lictors for enforcing the KOS that was set upon you, as well as members of 12th harassing and attacking, so on and so forth. It became a persistent issue. That being said, we have elected to just follow what the Senate has ruled and continued forward with the guarding list, but we have chosen, for the most part, to separate ourselves away from the situation that's going on between Koff and the Praetor M, as it's been nothing but a hassle for us to deal with, and many of our lower ranks refuse to get on now due to the legions attacking them.
Yeah, to my knowledge so far, the whole reason the 9th even guarding adder became a thing was because the consul supposedly ordered LG to stop guarding him. So he requested us to, like I said before, act as a temporary honor guard until, LG started doing their jobs of adder again.
That only came, and to my knowledge, the situation of that only came after the KOS was issued on my tribunus. That was retaliation in terms of the KOS being issued on my tribunus, and Koff had said he's not allowed to be guarded anymore until the KOS was lifted. As to how that was handled or went about, I am not sure what went on behind closed doors. I've simply kept to speaking with my personnel and making sure that the events and protectees have been guarded thus far. And the other situation at hand is this, and I'm not sure as to whether or not the other consul would agree with me, but this is my personal opinion regarding that. Part of Koff's situation with power and the protectee list, I personally find it absurd that once he is on, everybody else on the protectee list must be ignored. A Consul having unlimited guards is absolutely ridiculous, and it essentially strips any other person in game from having guards. That's essentially telling us, oh, now we have 4 to 5 people extra. No, everyone must remain on the Consul. The Praetors are ignored. The censors, any magistrate, completely ignored. That being said, there's nothing that we could do about it. We were essentially told, this is a Consul edict. The guard list was changed. There's nothing you can say about it. I had tried to even out the guards myself. You can ask Song, as she is the IO. Her and I have been speaking. We tried to change the list. Koff came in and issued an edict, and we couldn't do anything about it.
Hmm. Well, yeah, that's fair enough. I was going to essentially say this same thing, mostly in terms of Koff and the stemming, really. But yeah, what I think should really happen is like reformed legislation to make things much more clearer, and an updating of said legislation.
Which I would agree with. I personally would like to change.
We're gonna move on. Sorry, my mic was muted. All right.
Very well.
So, does anyone else have any questions for our glorious Dominus here? Governor, you may ask away.
Essentially, from what, and this is what Koff has personally approached me about, Koff has tried to also get members of the Lictors Guild to join the Equestrian Guard, and he's been trying to utilize both as a large army of guards, essentially, to expand the amount of personnel that are being guarded, as well as himself, as he's high up on the list as to the amount of personnel he would have around him. It's essentially a power play to grasp more personnel at his beck and call to rival that of, say, PG or any Legion. That's how it was perceived by the members of the Lictors Guild.
My mic was muted again, and I forgot about it. Antonio, you can ask what you want. Oh. Fine, Wolf, you smelly person. Alright, Antonio.
Okay, so this is a question for the Dominus of Lictors Guild, revolving around the incidents that happened this past weekend. Were you aware that the Lictors Guild were murking during war games?
I was not personally. I had
So
been at work, and I had informed Cough of that I will not be on and I will not be touching Roblox as I work.
so this is all essentially the murking of war games through Lictors Guild was all through Cough's doing, then, correct?
From my understanding, as we were yelled at in the HighCon VC, Cough was essentially trying to get as many people as possible prior to the war games initially starting, so that way we can have personnel to attend and fight the legions as well as Sparta.
Okay.
For the most part, the situation as it stands, Cough has been trying to push us to grow in numbers, as I stated prior, to combat the legions.
Okay. Well, we can get into that during their actual hearing, but I'd just like to bring forth a legislation that I did not touch whatsoever or edit. This is a current legislation on the law board that I feel as must be brought to attention for everyone to understand. As Cough, as the Consul Civilis, would know this law. I posted it in the forum, and I will read a specific section for this. Okay, so if you go down to section, where is it? Section 3. If you look at everything on here, subsection 2, registration requirements for war games. Registration shall be open for 24 hours from 12 a.m. Eastern Time Wednesday to 12 a.m. Eastern Time Thursday. This is to register candidates for war games. That's 4 days before war games had started. So Cough knowingly would have violated this, as there were reports of multiple members joining Lictors Guild less than a day before war games. I yield.
May I quickly add another question onto that to do with Anton's question, which is what I like to ask the Dominants?
Go ahead.
During the war games, when the murking was happening, did you at all know or see any signs of it at the time?
As I stated, I was at work. To
Oh, okay,
clarify,
never mind,
my work schedule strictly is overnight, and I work emergency services. I briefly hopped in the VC to ask what was going on. They told me it was the war games, and at that point, I listened in. Aside from that, further, I knew nothing further of what was going on. I only came in at the tail end regarding the Battle of Sparta, and saw the aftermath that came from that. Anything prior, I knew nothing of.
Yeah, like I said, if you were working overnight, then that's fine. So I'm just making sure.
Alright. Anyone else have any questions? You may ask the Dominus or whatever you're doing. Loves, you're in the spectators section. You have no political standing whatsoever. You have no political authority. You may not consult.
Due to the situation at hand regarding that, there's, as per the legislation and the edicts we currently have, the consuls will always have a lictor on them. And as per his edict, he has unlimited Imperium in order to have as many guards as he would like. That being stated, we also have to guard him while he's on EG tags. So he would have double the guards at that. I personally would believe that this is a grab for power and leaves other members of the Senate to be completely left alone and just behind in the dust in terms of protection as well as what Imperium they do have.
All right. Any other questions for the Dominus or you're continuing?
So the only situation at that is Wolf technically would have guards as well. Now the situation at hand is Wolf 9 times out of 10 from what I have seen has disabled his KZs as well as mainly has been with the legions. So from the standing of that, as the consul just stated, his KZ is always off. So with the standing of that, Koff has essentially grabbed every Lictor's Guild member that's on for himself with his unlimited cap for either of the consuls. And since he is in the more direct chain of command as the Civilis, there's nothing we could say against it. And Wolf would essentially be left without any guards unless he chooses to get any of us by asking us directly.
All right. Any other questions? Anyone else wish to consult? Going once. Oh. We will get into that shortly. All right. Is there any other questions? Going once. Going twice. You have to file an XOT at a meeting. Sorry. Next meeting, the actual formal meeting. Did Anson? I don't regard on remember Anson telling me anything about XOT.
I sent you the Exitoy.
Did you?
Yeah,
Hold
go.
up.
Here. Gosh,
Oh,
I'll tag you.
hold on.
Add
You
it.
sent me like 10,000 things. I'm not reading all of that. Do you seriously expect me that I am reading all of that? The answer is no. I don't read any of that shit. I just throw it on Senate board when I want to, which will of course be by the next meeting. I just have commitment issues. Send it to me.
I
see it. All right.
Yep.
All right. So here's what I'm gonna do. Plebeian council members, you guys have no authority over Senate legislation, so sorry, y'all can't vote. We're gonna vote on the motion to vote on the XOT now. I'm actually going to send the XOT in the proposals channel. Weird.
I object to the motion.
What?
Object.
Too bad. We're voting on it.
You can't just say too bad. You need to recognize my objection.
Please state your objection, not swag.
Well, I just think that there's not enough evidence.
Evidence for what?
For his exit.
I can personally provide
That's crazy.
evidence
That's crazy.
for negligence of laws and using loopholes just based on the weekend alone. Just for one incident.
You provide the evidence?
Alright, give me a second. I gotta screenshot it all. Oh. This was in my personal DMs because during war games, You can ask any member who was a part of the war games. I was one of the hosts for war games the past war games. Fucking complete disaster. One of my rounds ended early. I hopped in one of Alex's matches he was hosting to help out, and I noticed that Koff was fighting, and I noticed that, and then someone said that the Imperatrix was fighting. At the time, I didn't know the Imperatrix was the IO, but when I saw that Koff was fighting, I proceeded to say, Koff should not be fighting. They don't have the jurisdiction, and they should be disqualified from war games. Anyone who was in that match can verify that. I'm sorry, I'm still taking screenshots. Okay. Yep, I just finished them up. Let me post them all in the Senate forum. If that's okay, Con. Is that alright?
Yeah.
Okay. This is just one instance of it all.
Oh boy. Kyle is in the VC. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Hold up.
I will be right back
Hold
though
on.
if you
Kyle,
give me
I thought
about
you
2
wanted your
minutes.
I thought you wanted your testimony to be on Saturday, but you chose to show up.
I'll be back.
No fucking way.
Alright, I have returned.
Anton, do you have anything more that you need to say, or what's going on here?
I went off to the restroom. I may be a little bit lost if anything was said from me posting the screenshots that I provided.
Alright, do you mind if I let Wolfie do his little speech in game, because he's quite literally begging to do so right now?
So when are we going to vote?
We're gonna vote when Anton is done with what he's doing.
Oh, I'm already done. When you
Oh.
asked me the
All right,
question,
Wolfie,
I just came
you
back.
can do your speech.
No, I messed all up.
Governor, you have the floor. All right, sorry, Governor. Did you finish what you were saying? All right, you yielded. All right, since you're in JV, you may consult.
Can someone just talk about the things that Cal did? Like, why are they getting?
All right. Are there any motions that anyone would like to present? Anyone? Going once. Any motions? All right.
Motion
With
to
no
vote.
objections, then we'll now move on with the motion. All right, all senators, not plebeian council, all senators that are present, stand up. How many have we got? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm standing on senators still sitting down.
I just realized that I
I'm
can do
standing
this in
for
a
him since I'm
way
standing.
more simple way. All right, we're about to vote on the XUT right now.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna do this in a way
Okay,
more
sorry.
simple manner. If we go into proposals, you can see that I have now added some reactions. All senators will be given 1 minute 30 seconds to go vote. Y'all may now vote. Alright, you guys got 15 more seconds to vote before we stop. Alright. Alright. The XUT passes, and we'll now start the impeachment process on the Consul Civilis. The trial will be scheduled for a later date. And with no further testimonies that we can get, unless Kyle wants to say something now. Kyle, do you want to say anything, even in the meeting chat? Alright, then we will now adjourn. Thank you all for making this the first joint session. It went very well.
Said yeah. Prof said they would like to say
I'm
something.
sorry. I asked you to do it in the chat, so yeah, come on, say something. And for the plebeian counselors that can't see the Senate chats, I'll read it out for you all in a moment. All right. Alright. Papa to Flavio. Do you have anything more that you need to say before I read this out for everyone to hear in this VC? No, Cal. Alright, I'll begin reading this beautiful speech in the VC. Alright, to begin, this is all coming from Cal in the Senate forum, by the way. Alright, one, I didn't hear a lot, but the Dominus slide about the laws. This testimony was riddled with false statements about how the law works. He claimed I could have double guards despite me making an edict that prevents
Cadet, status update. Ship shape, Captain. Row session at the lunch table. Not to worry, we are in.
commanded LG directly when I spent 98% of my actions with LG asking for reports from him, my DMs with him so I can back it up. Our reports from the Dominus here has just been false statements. And Antonio, he made a role that was even seen bad by his own Consilium in war games. He barred all LG commanders from fighting while we have clips and screenshots of him and Alex fighting against LG, and he began enforcing that rule against Sparta. I was physically unable to join the game. He basically handed the win to Sparta with his one-sided rules. Also, the infinite guards thing was an existing law that the Senate used to have, and I made that edicts working with all of IC, including military. So that decision agreed with Wolf and Edder. Again, everything I say can be backed with screenshots. Is that all? Please tell me that is all. Alright, thank you. Antonio, please say what you have to say. Make it quick though, cause
Okay. Like I stated earlier about the LG thing, as a consul civis in the Constitution, it does not state that KOF as a consul has authority over LG in the manner that they were abusing it. KOF is not considered a commander of the Lictors Guild by Constitution. They tried to say that I could not fight with a Legion from a match that I was not a host of. That was Alex's match. They were hosts of that. For those who don't know, I am the Ducks of the 13th and the 12th. I had fought with the 13th in that final match because I felt as it was unfair that the Consul was abusing power in fighting in the war games instead of attempting to help Alex and I run the war games. And that is all. Your mic is probably muted again.
Oh. Keep on forgetting that my mic is muted. I'm used to having my mic make no lighting, but now it does. Alright. Does anyone else have any questions or statements they'd like to make? Going once, going twice.
I have a few questions.
Ask.
Alright, so you state you've made edicts preventing yourself from getting infinite guards, quote unquote. Do you have anything to back up the fact that you made these edicts? Because you're saying the Dominus is lying even though you've not shown any actual evidence, because currently everything is just hearsay.
Alright.
Did you hear my question?
I'll
repeat it then
Kyle
for you.
didn't ask. Or Kyle
I'll
didn't
repeat
hear the question.
I'll repeat it then. Alright, so you said you've made edicts to prevent yourself from getting infinite guards, and you claim that Dominus is lying. But so far, this is all just hearsay. Do you have any actual evidence you can provide apart from just hearsay?
I'll say it in the meeting chain. Jeez. Don't say it in the Senate forum. I want everyone to see it. I hosted a joint session and a public one for public accountability, not just Senate accountability.
Well, either way, you claim the government's lies, even though you've actively have been, even though he claims that you've been giving yourself double guards, yet you so far have only given hearsay. You've not shown any actual evidence, you have shown no legislation, you've shown no edicts. How are we supposed to believe word of mouth?
I sent the edict in the joint meeting chat for
I just
everyone.
got the mic right now. I literally, you can just check the edict from the law board. It literally says varying tags as laws. Varying tags, which means I cannot have double guards because because EG's guards are only allowed with Princeps of the Order, and LG guards is only allowed with Consul tags. So there's physically no way they can both guard at the same time. Any statement from that is completely false. That is unironically just a false statement from Dominus.
There's nothing stating that what you just said is true.
Look at varying tag.
I'm literally staring at it. There's nothing in the edict saying so.
And only the rank is shown. And only the rank is shown.
Right. But as Anton has just said, we are both looking at this edict and it says nothing of that nature. So currently what you're saying is either dishonest or, like I said, hearsay.
Okay, let's see. Let me read it out for you. Okay, hold on. Let me read it out for you. Any official on tags established by the Emperor may be permitted to be guarded if the rank and only the rank is shown. The examples would be a censor being on Collar the Gladiator tags and showing censor will be fine. The Praetor C being on UC tags and it's showing Praetor will be fine. The Consul N being on Oratorus tags and it's showing Honorary Oratorus would not be fine. The Praetor N being on Gens tags and it's showing Praetor N would not be fine. It says there in the example, the Consul are not immune to this law either. They need to have their Consul rank shown in their tags.
Right, but no one said anything about gens or orators.
That is an example talking about tags. This is talking about tags as a whole.
An example that's not related at all. The whole argument is that you've been doubling up your guards by having EG and LG guard you on a Christian or Consul.
Because that's not possible. I did it because it's not possible. Varying tags on my edict prevents it. EG does not have Consul tags. It has Princeps of the Order for that purpose.
Right, but it doesn't change the fact that you've...
No. If LG guards me when I'm on EG tags, they're not guarding anybody and are not immune to the law.
Right, but it doesn't change the fact that it's supposedly happening.
It does change the fact, though. It does change the fact. I physically can't get guarded. You're just yapping right now. It does.
Well, currently this is all hearsay because you've still yet to show any evidence.
Oh my god, it's on the edict.
I've read the edict, but it does not say anything relevant to what you've just told me.
Do you see the guard list? Do you see the guard list? I want you to scroll a bit down to varying tags. That is the entire point of the varying tags. To prevent exactly what you're saying. The claims that you are talking about are entirely the claims about double guards cannot be possible because I just made that in the edict that you can't do that.
Right, but that doesn't change the fact that you have been increasing your overall personnel through EG and LG. And I've been
increasing personnel in LG and EG, yes, of course, because that is was necessary to revive paramilitaries. That's not me trying to get more guards. That's just me trying to bring the sector up.
Right, but while also increasing your own guard. Well, so has been stated so far. Because may I remind you that right now, you are the one on trial, not me or Anton, you. We're not on trial,
Right,
but
yes,
you're the
okay.
one.
But again, the claim that you're making of double guards or trying to build more guards or whatever is just lying. It's just straight up lying. That's the part. That's the part.
But you're also...
Nope, shush. I have a very slight interruption to make, but in accordance with the constitutional article on impeachment, let me pull this up. Article 6.2, impeachment, process of impeachment, subsection B. Upon passing of an executive, the magistrate's authority shall be suspended until the trial is concluded. With that, Consul Kyle is now suspended.
May I resume?
Continue.
Alright, thank you. Now, additionally as well, I want to add on to another point as well. You've also been accused of poaching men from Legions into EG and LG.
Where?
Do you have anything to say regarding that?
Poaching. Can you provide any proof of that?
Well, again, you're the one on trial.
No. If you're trying to put me on trial, you need to actually provide evidence of these claims instead of trying to say that I did and then say, it just happened. You'd have to also include that.
Right, one moment. Give me one moment.
Because I really told to both EG and LG and anybody that tries to join, I don't handle recruitment at all. I refuse to handle recruitment to anybody. I can show this. I even told EG to stop trying to poach from PG, to stop trying to force legates to do. Every single time EG has tried to push their boundaries, I have announced to them to stop doing it, and I can prove it with constant announcements telling them what they can or cannot do. Like right here, I'm posting in a Senate forum.
Right, if you have evidence, do post it, because that would be helpful.
Any claims that I have tried to push EG to poach or LG to poach, there's no real proof because I don't recruit anybody. The only people I have ever recruited were back when I was still a military commander.
Okay. Now, Han, let me just review your statement again quickly, because I had a few more questions.
Go ahead. Keep asking questions.
Just one.
Alright. Immortal, Sharky, I'm gonna give you 2 more minutes max before I adjourn this. It's been going on for an hour and 30 minutes now, and I'd like to get back to the life that I have outside of Roblox.
Yeah, no problem.
The only times I've used my Imperium was for that one edict and to veto basically everything Smitty has done, because I've told him multiple times he's just taking away from Legion's jobs. So, in fact, the only reason why I keep vetoing it is because he keeps wanting to make a private military.
So you're essentially vetoing a government official who is well within his right to appoint Legion to certain
No,
tasks.
because it's a private military. Private militaries are banned.
So, Han, what makes it a private military assigning a Legion to
because
a
it's not state sanctioned. Because it's not state sanctioned, and he wants direct control of it. That is a private military.
But that's not a private military. That's assigning a Legion to do a specific task.
No, that is a private military. If you reread the private military law,
explain it to me.
all militaries need to be cannot operate independent from the government or not levied by the state. He wants to have complete control over it without civil or military imperium over it. that is entirely a private military. That is what a
That
private
is
military is.
completely correct.
If neither consul or praetor have any control over the military, that military is considered a private military. The only exception to a private military is the JVTHAN or anything that's given in ordinatio militum.
As far as I'm aware, he's not taking any military power away from the praetor or consul. As far as I know, all he's done
Except that the military is to be directly controlled by him and only him.
Let me finish, please. Thank you. All from what I'm aware of, all the governor has done is order legion to garrison the city. As far as I know, that's not a private military. That's well within his right to assign legion to a specific task. It's not making anybody independent. They're not guarding him. They're not, being his private military. They're just garrisoning a city, which is a viable task for a legion to maintain. The same way how you would vote. Okay, I will finish.
Alright. I love that you guys are getting some fun debate time, but I'm gonna have to adjourn it. With that being said, this meeting is adjourned. You guys may all leave. You are all excused. Have a great night.